Right, hey guys, how are we doing? Back on another video from Ham on Beat. We're going to be checking out JoJo, the Heaven's Plan. So, obviously he has explained bits about how the Heaven Plan works, but let's get more in depth, let's focus on it, because it was quite a strange, interesting concept, wasn't it? Like, letting everyone see how they're going to die and be at peace with it, so everyone's just chill, basically, is what I understand. But let's get more in depth, I imagine. JoJo, the Heaven Plan. Come on, beat!
In part 6 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Pucci's goal was to carry out the last will of his master, Dio. This was to bring the world to a state of what Dio called heaven. The complicated nature of this plan leaves some people confused, and some often write it off as totally nonsensical. In this video, I will be going over what heaven is and the process of attaining it, both as it was planned and as it occurred in the story.
Cool.
In one of my previous videos,
Good video.
I went in depth on the concept of fate, which has
I
existed
really like
as
that.
an observable force in the world of JoJo ever
Gravity.
since the very first part. Understanding the concept of fate is absolutely integral to understanding the Heaven Plan, along with the motivations of Pucci and Dio. I will retread some of that information in this video, but I still recommend watching my Fate video, since there I also delve into its presence in other parts.
Yeah.
Before we can understand heaven, we must first understand the one who came up with it,
Dio.
Dio Brando was born into poverty and suffered through an abusive lifestyle. This
He was
molded him
bullied
into
by
a
his father.
manipulator who planned to infiltrate the Joestar family and steal their wealth. His ambition
I'm
was
a
so great
vampire
that he
now.
rejected his own humanity and shifted his goal to that of world domination. He was eventually defeated by Jonathan Joestar and sealed away for 100 years.
Long time.
During his time in the coffin, Dio had plenty of time to think over his mistakes. It is at this point that I believe he reached an understanding of fate and formed his heaven philosophy that would govern his actions from
You've got a long time to think about stuff there,
Dio's
haven't you?
idea
So,
of heaven is a state of being in which you are completely aware of your own fate and have no power to change it.
so you just
know
accept it.
everything that will happen to you for your entire life. Dio seems to be a person who is cursed by fate. From the start, he was fated to be born into a tragic life, in which his mother dies and his father abuses him. Because of this, the ideal state for someone with a tumultuous life like Dio is a world in which he is completely aware of his own fate and then comes to accept it. Once you have accepted this fate, you have reached the peace of mind that Dio calls heaven.
Right, yeah.
Unlike most stories, in which fate is an abstract concept, the fate in JoJo is an observable, physical truth. The force known as fate is actually
Gravity.
the force of gravity itself. All mass has a gravitational pull, and these various pulls is what influences and carries out the fated path. All people and objects are governed by it, and while some may believe they are altering fate, in reality the changing of fate itself
Already
is
predestined,
fated.
yeah.
Fate is completely inescapable. Anyone who tries to overcome it will eventually be shot down by it. The only way to thrive within the system of fate is to completely accept it. It would become Dio's goal for the entire world
to
face
accept
this
theirs,
truth,
yeah.
whether they wish to or not. Now that we hopefully understand the concepts of heaven and fate, how exactly will Dio reach this goal? This is where the Heaven Plan comes in. In order for heaven to be attained, the universe must be accelerated to the singularity point. By doing this, the universe will be reborn. People will have already witnessed their entire existence and will now be placed back into it with
knowing
foreknowledge
everything,
of it. Once they know their own unchangeable fate, they can start to internally come to terms with it. With Dio's current stand of the world, this goal is not possible. The world has control over time, and Dio likely understood another truth, which is that the law of gravity and the flow of time are intertwined.
Right.
And as we already know, gravity and fate are intertwined as well.
This is interesting.
As a time-manipulating stand, the world is the first step to creating the stand necessary for heaven. However, Dio already had his stand, and that couldn't be changed. So he devised a ritual in which he could force this stand to become the one of his choosing. Dio's plan to attain heaven is as follows. He begins by inscribing the 14 phrases into his stand. A stand is synonymous with one's soul, and by inscribing these phrases, he is ingraining them into his soul itself. This will act as a kind of password for later. Then, he would destroy his own stand. Dio's will would be revived through his remaining bone, and by sacrificing the souls of 36 sinners, create a homunculus known as the Green Baby.
The Green Baby, right.
By inscribing his soul with the 14 phrases, he not only implants those phrases into the Green Baby, but also implants it with his wish for it to be capable of reaching heaven.
Awesome.
The baby is essentially Dio's will to attain heaven given form. Through the exchange of the power of 36 souls, Dio's inscribed soul is reborn in the way he chooses. The baby would be sought out by someone that Dio trusts, and this person would relay the 14 phrases
Pucci,
to them, confirming their identity. The baby would then fuse with this person, implanting Dio's will to attain heaven into the person's stand. This would cause the stand to become Sea-Moon, the one needed for the plan. With this gravity manipulation stand, the person would need to head to specific coordinates on Earth. These coordinates point to Cape Canaveral, where the gravitational pull of the Earth is at its weakest.
Yeah.
The other major gravitational
at its weakest, right, okay.
accounted for is the phase of the moon. According to the plan, it must be a new moon. Once reaching these coordinates, Sea-Moon will be able to manipulate gravity in such a way that time itself will be affected. Since, once again...
And it makes sense, yeah, because, like, for Dio's stand to be a time-controlling stand, it makes sense for it. Yeah, I like this. This is cool.
Time until the universe reaches the singularity point. When this happens, a new universe is created. All living creatures experience a full cycle of the universe and are then placed back into an identical universe. Now that they know their own fate and that it is futile to try and alter it, they can begin to come to terms with it. Once someone has understood that their fate is absolute and accepts it, they will attain the peace of mind Dio spoke about, and reach the state of enlightenment known as heaven. As we know, gravity and fate are one and the same. Because of this, Maiden Heaven has true control over fate in this new universe. The universe could be played from the beginning, allowing a full cycle to take place within this heaven effect. I believe this is what Dio's ultimate goal was, for all living beings to live within this idea of heaven. However, in practice, Dio's plan did not go completely as intended. Now that we've gone over the intended plan, we'll look at how these events actually played out in the story, since it deviates from the plan in a few key ways. After being freed from the coffin, Dio would meet with the fortune teller Enya, who would teach him about stands. She would also supplement whatever he already understood about fate. Enya had come into possession of 5 stand arrows, and Dio would use these to give himself and many others the ability to use a stand. Dio's own stand proved incapable of carrying out the heaven plan on its own, so Dio would travel the world seeking out other stand users. He would eventually be drawn to Pucci, and with his white snake, the plan would be expedited. After repeated visits with him, Dio began to trust Pucci enough to designate him as the person needed for this plan. He gave Pucci one of his bones in order to revive his soul after the destruction of his stand. He then sent Pucci to Florida to infiltrate the staff of the Green Dolphin Street prison. Once he had gotten considerable influence in the prison, he would be able to arrange for the needed sacrifice. However, this would take some time. Meanwhile, Dio would search for more stand users. He would still need a stand that could revive his body, and I think it's possible that the Nijimura father's stand was a candidate for this, due to its possible regenerative properties. He was also sought out for his proximity to JoJo. Keijo Nijimura suspected that Dio was searching for a certain type of stand, although Keijo was unaware of what exactly this stand was. Next, Dio would inscribe the 14 phrases onto his stand, and prepare for his stand's eventual destruction. Dio would then write his plan into his diary, planning to relay this all to Pucci in the near future. However, the events of Part 3 would eventually occur.
Yeah, alright, okay, yes, this makes sense. I like this.
With his understanding of fate, Dio Dio knows that he is destined to clash with the Joestars, and decides that they need to be dealt with in order for them not to interfere with the remaining preparations for the plan. Of course, Dio would be defeated by Jotaro and his body destroyed. While Dio's death is a necessary step in the plan, it had come at an unintended time. To further complicate matters, Jotaro located Dio's diary.
Yeah, and he got rid of it, and so that's why Pucci needed the disc. Right, okay, yeah.
Making Jotaro the only person in the world with knowledge of the plan. The plan was nearly devastated by this setback, but the involvement of Pucci would end up saving it. Pucci's stand Whitesnake acts as a plan B. In the event that knowledge of the plan is lost, he can seek out and recover the memories of it. Pucci would spend the next few decades rising through the ranks of the prison.
It's mental, isn't it? Like, the dedication to it.
He gathered a large amount of stand discs, one of which was Limp Bizkit, a stand capable of reviving the bone of Dio. After a long period of waiting, Pucci finally recognized Jotaro's weakness through his daughter Jolene. Using Jangali A, one of Dio's remaining disciples, he would frame Jolene for murder and have her sent to the prison. This caused Jotaro to attempt a rescue, at which point he was able to catch up.
Jump in and let's take this opportunity.
Now that he had the memory disc, he had full knowledge of the plan. Jolene was no longer a concern of Pucci, so he would make no personal attempt to stop her escape with Jotaro's comatose body. However, Jolene chose to stay in the prison to get the discs back from Pucci. With Limp Bizkit, Dio's bone was given life, and sought out the souls of the prisoners.
The 36 souls that it needed, yeah.
Creating the green baby. Pucci was able to locate the baby and say the 14 phrases he had learned from the disc, fusing the baby with him and giving him the proper stand. Pucci left the prison and headed towards Cape Canaveral, although he would still have to wait for the new moon, giving Jolene time to catch up. Since the green baby was technically a combination of Dio and Jonathan's body, it had a Joestar birthmark. After fusing with it, this gave Pucci
one.
the
Yeah, makes sense.
It also altered his twin brother's body to give him one as well.
Psychic links?
These birthmarks have supernatural properties, enabling those with them to sense each other's presence. 3 of Dio's sons were drawn to Pucci this way, and were used as pawns to delay Pucci's enemies. Jolene and Weather were also able to sense Pucci in order to catch up with him. Pucci eventually reached Cape Canaveral. However, he still had a few days left until the new moon. But Pucci found a way around this by reaching an understanding of Sea Moon's abilities. Since Sea Moon makes Pucci the center of gravity, by placing himself inside of a frame, he was able to levitate upwards. This allowed him to reach the proper position for the gravity manipulation, even without the new moon. By doing this, Pucci awakened Made in Heaven and began accelerating time. Like Dio, Pucci understood fate and knew that the Joestars and those who support them needed to be dealt with. He wished not only to remove any possible opposition from them, but to also deny them access to heaven. However, Jolene was able to save Emporio in time, allowing him to enter the next universe. Since Jolene
sounds so mental.
Their souls were put in a sort of limbo. Pucci shaped the new universe, stopping them from crossing over. This caused them to be replaced by counterparts of themselves. With the original plan, Pucci would allow the universe cycles to complete. However, he still needed to kill Emporio. To do this, he let time resume normally right around the meeting of Jotaro and Jolene at the prison, when he knew Emporio would be there.
Yeah.
Once he had killed Emporio, Pucci would allow the cycle to complete again and deactivate Made in Heaven. This would then allow him and all others throughout history to live out their full lives within heaven. Emporio, along with everyone else in that universe, was now aware of their fate and the fact that it couldn't be influenced. The way that fate operates here is worth pointing out. People seem to have an internal sense of free will. They can think to themselves and even say out loud whatever they
can't
want.
control their actions.
However, they cannot control their movements and are aware of future movements they are fated to take. While this is quite extreme, the system of fate ultimately hasn't changed, only people's understanding of it. Normally, people's movements are still fated, but they are unaware of it. A person can witness an action happening and and then react to it in a way that they fully believe they are choosing.
Well,
However, both the
everything's
action and
predetermined.
their reaction are fated. This fated reaction is fully believable to the person as if they had chosen it. However, it is still ultimately fated. Some characters are aware of fate, and by altering it slightly can greatly complicate this sequence. However, in this case, only Pucci was able to directly alter fate in this universe, and he did not have knowledge of his own future while Maiden Heaven was active. Emporio was able to use this to his advantage, by manipulating Pucci into pushing Weather's stand disc into him. Now, in any other circumstance, Emporio would not be able to do this. However, Pucci's position was unique. He had the ability to shape fate, and was still completely unaware of what the current fate would be. Emporio could see that he would have the disc in position. All he had to do was make Pucci believe that moment was when he should attack. By taking the action of pushing in the disc, Pucci changed fate. This caused fate to favor Emporio, leading to Pucci's defeat.
Yeah, man.
According to Emporio, fate will always ultimately favor the path of justice. With Pucci's death, he was no longer able to control the shape of the new universe. This resulted in a new universe being created, free from Pucci's influence. It is also likely that Pucci himself does not even exist
anymore,
in this new universe. Much like the previous universe, the events of the past would remain mostly the same. However, the present and recent past are altered. The souls of Jolene and the others are restored, but they are given new and better lives. Emporio is now the only person left with memories of the previous universe, but he understands that the Irene of this universe
is the
same
Jolene
as the Jolene from the previous. Throughout the series, the naming convention of JoJo has highlighted the members of the Joestar bloodline. This is the same bloodline that has been fated to battle evil for over a century. Now that the final threat in this universe, Pucci, has been eliminated, there is no longer a need for this conflict.
Right.
So the Jolene reborn into this universe lacks that naming convention. Instead of her and her descendants being destined to battle with Dio and his consequences, Irene's future is free to be whatever she sees
Yeah,
fit.
that's class.
With this, the original
Wow.
universe of JoJo comes to a fitting end, with fate favoring the right path. Hopefully with this video, you reach a better
Yeah,
understanding.
that was really good. That was
and by
boss. That was class.
extension,
Love it.
Fate in JoJo. For an in-depth look at the
Yeah,
concept
check out the
of
Fate video, it's
and
boss.
the ways it applies to other parts, please check out my video on Fate in JoJo. This video has been another in a series of in-depth looks at topics in JoJo. These have covered the idea of whether the Walleyes were forgotten, fate in JoJo, and explaining how King Crimson
God,
works.
how does King
If
Crimson
you have an
work?
idea
Jesus.
for another video similar to these, comment them down below.
Yeah, that was boss. That explained it so well. I like that he went through Dio's initial setup, the plan he had, what happened in part 3, how the dad who followed Dio in part 4 was linked to it and potentially could have been the stand that Dio was looking for, all the way through. That was great. That was really boss. I love it. And yeah, I think I'll check out next the ending to Stone Ocean, like the explanation of the ending there, and then the musical references, and then some of you have just been like recommending all sorts of videos to check out, so appreciate that. Thank you very much. And thank you to my patrons. If you want to have your name at the end of every video upload, link in the description to the Patreon page. $1 a month is all I ask on Split Channel. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you for that. And thank you all for watching. What do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of this? Click a like, subscribe if you haven't, leave comments down below. Let me know that I should watch discussing future videos, and I'll see you guys next time.